starting times, or to the type of membership as well. This particular rule covers advanced reservations for those persons with multiple starting time requests, reciprocal players, and outside groups with 12 or more players. So if you look at what I've proposed, I've simply removed the portion where it was duplicate from the rule that the 28-day reading that we just approved. So the actual rule, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's really just eliminated this red section. Oh, if you can see that, yeah.
So it basically covers the same thing we passed in the previous rule.
Yes.
Okay. And we eliminated where it addressed walk-in reservations.
Yeah, I believe I had actually put that in my background of the original rule that I had presented, and I just I eliminated that.
So you can book your tea time by walking in or telephone, or when the system is up, which will be soon, you can do it online. I'll call for a motion.
Motion to approve is written.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Any more discussion?
Sorry. 4 in favor, 1 absent, motion carried.
Okay. Now both those rules, so everybody understands, are 28-day readings. So if there's anything that you see in there that you question or want to address, feel free to send an email to the board, and we'll look into that and possibly modify the rule. But it's not a rule yet until we approve it next month. Okay, we're into member comments.
We do. We have one. We have Marvin Webster.
Good evening.
There's a picture on the back of the packet. Okay. I'm Marvin Webster, tract 3720, lot number 093. I want to revive our request to cross Sierra Park's parking lot to access our backyard to park our motorhome. You may recall that from the pictures. At the May 4th POA meeting, approved June 1st, there's an excerpt as below from the Architectural Appeals, and I appealed the Architectural Control Committee denial of RV parking pad to be located in our backyard that is adjacent to Sierra Park's parking lot. This motion, Director Kamanchian, moved that the Board of Directors table this item to allow legal counsel to work with staff to draft a revocable license variance for the board to review at the June board meeting. This was seconded and passed. Clicking on the POA website, board meeting agendas and minutes produces the following results. I'm sorry, it's in large print, but I'm visually handicapped of sorts. The June 1st agenda, there was no tabled items listed under the Architectural Appeals on June 1st agenda. July 6th agenda, no tabled items under the Architectural Appeals on July 6th agenda. August 3rd, 2021 agenda meeting link is broken. It brings up the regular board meeting for January 12th of 2021 agenda with the November 9th, 2020 minutes. So that gets interesting. Number 4, there's no link for the September board meeting agenda or the August minutes. Number 5, there is a link for the October board meeting tonight and the September minutes. However, there's no tabled items listed under Architectural Appeals on tonight's October 5th agenda. In the September 7th minutes, there is a meeting, or there is an item 7.3 regarding driveway and other parking, but it is not relevant to our May 4th request. The fourth request, our May 4th request. So we still have not heard anything regarding our request. So my question is, how does the tabled item get carried forward for follow-up so it doesn't get lost in space? We were gone for the June meeting, so I went over to the POA office. When I went to the POA office in June to find out what was happening, I was told that the proposal had to go to the lawyer for wording. Okay. When I went the following month, I was told that it had come back from the lawyer and was sent to gain approval of all committees that were involved with it in any way. All right. When I went back again a couple of weeks later, I was told that it needed to go back to the lawyer for final revision of wording. Okay. When I went back again, I was told that I had to be prepared for a meeting that Wednesday and that I would hear the next day. I never heard from anybody. When I went back again, I was told that she would call me when it was finished, that I wouldn't have to keep going back. It has been 5 months now since my first request to drive into my yard from the parking lot. The POA board almost approved the request at the May 4th meeting, except they couldn't come up with wording to satisfy the whole board. So the action was tabled. It should have been on the next month's meeting as a tabled item to make sure that it doesn't get lost in the files. It seems that it has vanished, so I want to revive my request. I'm requesting that the board help me to get this variance approval finished and granted. That's it. Thank you.
Well, thank you for this presentation. You are not wrong. This seems to be a good characterization of what happened. I can only apologize for the delay. I think you know that there's been a transition in boards, and while that's no excuse, it is reality. So I can assure you that the board has discussed it, and we will be addressing it next month, and you will be contacted in the following weeks and asked to do your presentation and discuss it with us again. So we will address it. My apologies. Any
No,
other
sir.
comments?
No.
No comments. Oh, yeah. Okay, we can go into association reports. Eric, are you ready?
I am. Once again, you didn't give me very much time.
Not my fault.
Yeah, we're about to set another record, I guess. So I'd like to give an update. I gave the board an update earlier on some of our projects that we have going on. We actually have quite a few projects. The biggest one is Sierra Park North. The update there is that we have, we're in the process of replacing the original civil engineer on the project, and we've come up with an alternate design. The original civil engineer was working with us on some changes that we made, and basically said they were too busy right now to help us complete those. So we have a substitute replacement civil engineer that's going to take over and help us carry the ball across the finish line. We've made substantial changes to the site work. We've lowered the site substantially and eliminated the upper retaining wall, which will save us a fair amount of money. We've eliminated a couple expensive drainage, subsurface drainage structures. We moved a storm chamber, eliminated a chimney drain, two expensive elements on the site. Site works much better now and has allowed us to save some money. And bottom line is that we've really value engineered the heck out of this thing, and we feel like we can now confidently say we're going to do all the elements in the park that were advertised within the $2.2 million that the voters approved. We started at about $2.5 million total, including the pump track. And so we've come a long way and really cut costs. And feel like we've done a pretty good job changing the design just enough to make everything work well. So we're proceeding with that. We're going to be doing a couple shade structures at Indian Beach and Sierra Park. You should see those start in the next month or so. We're going to be starting on a dock at Indian Beach, and probably in the next 30 to 60 days, we will have a footing for that dock, and then the dock will follow. It's pretty good lead time on dock construction right now. Excuse me. We're still working on the medians on Canyon Lake Drive South. We're gonna take out the pine trees there, completely re-landscape those medians and install uplighting. And last I heard last week, we were working with the electrical engineer to make sure we had sufficient electrical load supply for amperage for that uplighting. And we should be putting that out to bid very soon. Adding some flagpoles in the community. We're going to add a 30-foot flagpole at each of the three main entrances of Canyon Lake, the three gates, and another one at the community patrol facility. Overseeding at the golf course. The annual closure will be October 11th through October 30th on the golf course, and the country club will be closed October 11th through the 18th. The restaurant will be closed during the overseeding. The golf course irrigation project is virtually complete except for the installation of the pump stations, and we intentionally delayed that so that we can do that during the overseeding period. So at the end of October, that project will also be completed. Recently started installing the Diamond Point playground. That should be completed very soon. Brand new playground, much needed in that little park. The lodge interior remodel project. It's a updating of all the finishes, the flooring, the very badly cracked and dirty marble flooring and grout here in the Holiday Bay Room hallway and the entryway. The flooring, the dance flooring, the bar area, the carpeting, the worn out booths, all of those finishes are going to be receiving an update. And we have some plans. We're going to reconfigure the bar a little bit so that it could service the outside dining area, which is another project that's on the kind of in the works right now. And that project, the interior, is at the city plan check in second round of plan check. So we should have a permit for that very soon. The exterior of the lodge, that is actually going into plan check. That is a patio, outside dining, patio and event space. It'll be like a wedding venue, bandstand for Fiesta Day, outside dining with shade, that type of thing. That will be going in for plan check next week. And when those come out of plan check, we will put the inside and the outside portion of the lodge renovation out to bid. Mailbox lighting. We've done 54 of the 100 or so locations of the solar mailbox lighting. So we're a little over halfway there. The Happy Camp restroom project. We do have a permit for that restroom renovation, and we will be putting the RFP out for that very soon, probably the next couple of weeks. And the Roadrunner Park restroom, we will be starting at the end of this month, finally. And Lynn talked a little bit about our software. We're changing our rules to allow campground reservations and site-specific reservations, that type of thing. But we have soft launched our new website, and we're running all our departments on our new software conversion. So far, so good. And we are doing a soft launch on the website. If you haven't checked it out, please do. We'll announce when it's 100% ready for prime time, but it is up and functioning, and we will be publishing tomorrow that if you want to use the website, excuse me, that in order to register for your member website access, you'll find a link on the first page to register your account. You send us a request to get a login for access to your member financial details. You'll be able to see your account. make tea time reservations, make restaurant reservations, make campground reservations. But you have to shoot us a form and we will get back to you and give you a login. And so we're very excited about that and all the projects we have going on. And some of you may have heard that Thomas, the lodge manager, is leaving us, and we're sad to see him go. But we wish him the best. And that's all I have tonight. So thank you.
Thank you, Eric. It, as always, just amazing how much stuff is going on around here. And a lot of good things, positive things happening. Your other staff reports are in your packet. You feel free to look at those and email us with any questions you might have. We'd be happy to answer those. We'll look forward to board comments. Tim, I know you have a whole page full of stuff to talk about.
Actually, I don't have a lot. I really do want to thank Eric, though. Between Eric and Steve, these guys working on that park, making this thing come through, just really impressed me how much he's been able to save and cut costs to make this thing go forward for our community, and I love it. ACC, as always, those guys work their tails off. They're out there every single Thursday and Tuesday going through plans and doing this. No updates on anything else at this time.
Thank you. Renee?
Right, just a few updates. For the senior center, they are having their holiday boutique on November 6th and 7th. And those are all handmade crafts made by the person that is there. So it's going to be really interesting and fun with all the unique crafts. It is over a 2-day period. Shopping on November 6th and 7th. They are also going to be hosting their Christmas dinner and a New Year's event. So if you are interested, please reach out to the Senior Center. They'd love to have you join. There's a lot of other fun events that you may want to consider as well. And then the Finance Committee, we're going to be meeting on the, I'm trying to look, on the 19th. So if you're interested in attending, it's welcome to, all members are welcome, and that's at 8:30 in the morning on the 19th. There's still, for the Fiesta Day Committee, we are still looking for 2 more people to join the committee. So if you are interested in volunteering and helping our community with Fiesta Day for next year, greatly appreciate your inquiry into joining the committee.
Okay, thank you, Renee. Jim?
I just want to thank staff for the car show that we had this past Saturday. I thought it was a great event. I think there were over 250 cars registered, and I think it added a lot to our community to be able to see these beautiful cars in association with outside cars or people that came in to see our cars, and we could see their cars. And I know I personally enjoyed it, and I know the staff did a wonderful job of putting this together. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Yeah, I heard that was a great event, another well-functioned event, and Car Club, congratulations for a very good event for the community, and I'm glad to see it's back. Eric mentioned the irrigation project, and of course it's going to wrap up this month, which is great. And I'm actually looking forward to significant water savings. I don't want to labor this too much, but the projection was 14% in water savings. The superintendent's already told me that he's noticed significant water savings on the golf course with the system, because all the lateral lines are in operation at this point. And I want to thank Heritage Golf Links for an outstanding job. They got positive feedback. I got positive feedback from both the superintendent and Steve Schneider. So it's always nice to be able to work with a positive contractor without any unnecessary issues. So I want to thank them. And I also want to take the minute to thank Mark Lauder, our Brightview superintendent, who oversaw the job and kept an eye out for issues and problems on our behalf. And he did a great job at, basically on his company time. So we appreciate that. The City Golf Championship was this weekend. I want to congratulate our City Golf Championship for the men's division was Kevin Lee, and from out of the area, which, if you don't know, that the City Golf Championship opens up the golf course for this weekend once a year to outside people to come compete for that title. Kevin Lee was successful with an outstanding score, as well as Mia Golovich, who was the ladies champion. And she's a Lake Elsinore resident with ties to Canyon Lake. So congratulations to both of them. As Darcy said earlier, EVMWD won their division of the Scramble event on Saturday, as did the City of Canyon Lake, won their title again this year. So they keep the trophy. So our next tournament, our next city championship event is October 1st and 2nd of next year. So put that on your calendar and come sign up. I think I've already got a new team in G4S competing in the tournament. So not yet. Thomas is leaving the Lighthouse. It's a great loss for our community, where we hate to see him go. He's moving on to hopefully bigger and better things, and we wish him well and want him to know that we will miss him. And it's been a pleasure knowing him all these years. When Eric mentioned the mailbox lighting, there was some controversy and question about the effects of the lighting on the mailboxes. And I haven't seen any feedback from that. And I'd like to encourage the community to send us some feedback on the effects of the lights on the mailboxes. And hopefully, I know they have for me. I've been there at night to get mail, and they've helped me considerably. So I hope that's the case. So if you're so inclined, we'd love to hear from you. We did have a review with G4S on their 6-month review, and I have to say everything was positive. They have a schedule looking forward that includes a lot of positive things for the community, as well as community involvement. So we look forward to that. And we've got a great fella in Matthew leading the group, and thank you for your efforts and continued efforts. And lastly, I can say without divulging too much that the 3 board members here have approved supported the pickleball project and have approved design for new pickleball courts. So we're going to look at that much closer now and see what the costs are and what the needs are. So we're moving forward with that at this point. So with that, that's all I've got. If there's no other business, Eric?
I forgot to mention that we had a successful concert a couple of weeks ago. I heard great things about that. It's been our 2nd concert at the lodge since we had our new sound system. And we have another concert with Canned Heat, which was they were a band that was at Woodstock back in the day, classic blues and rock. And we still have tickets available, and that's Friday, October 15th. And that's all I wanted to add.
Sure. Renee, you had something?
Well, because you mentioned music, at the country club this Friday night is going to be a tribute to Frank Sinatra. So there will be live music if you want to have a wonderful dinner and enjoy the tribute to Frank Sinatra. I highly recommend that you go out to the country club for dinner on Friday night.
And I hear they have a great filet. Oh, so good. Yeah. I just heard that, so we got to try it. All right. Well, thank you all for attending. And with that, we'll close the meeting. We'll call for a motion to adjourn. We're running really late, Jack. No. No, come on up, Jack. We thought we thought we were going to set a record tonight.
One thing I wanted to bring up that I think it's very, very important that's happening in our community. We have a lot of young kids riding around on these electric bicycles that will run 20, 25 miles an hour with no helmets. I don't know where our rule went with reference to helmets, but I've seen several of the kids, also grown-ups, same thing. I think it's a real dangerous thing. We used to have rules when they're riding a bicycle or anything, you had to have a helmet. And I just think somebody's going to end up getting killed. These kids are traveling way too fast, and it's just really a safety issue. And I just wanted to bring it up to the board. I hope the board can consider the rules and have these people start wearing helmets. And the one thing that I remember when I was working in the fire department and I was working the squad, we responded to an accident. The guy was sitting at the stoplight. He got hit in the back with a car, drove him across the intersection, drove his head into the curb and killed him. When we arrived, there was nothing we could do, but the thing that got me, and I can remember it to this day, is I looked over at his bicycle or his motorcycle. His helmet was strapped to the handlebars. And I remember that, and it kind of pops up every time when I see these kids without a helmet. So anyway, that's all. I just want to make a comment. I think it's important that we put a stop to it.
Okay, Jack, thank you. I believe that we have a rule in place for helmets being required for up to 18-year-olds. I think where we need to address is adults 18 and over as to whether or not we want to have helmets for those people.
I just think it's good to have a helmet regardless. If
I-
you're going to run on one of these electric bikes, you need to have a helmet.
I don't disagree.
But there is stipulation with reference to state laws that if the electric has not quite the power that they're saying, and it's below that power, he doesn't have to wear a helmet. And but the POA can certainly change that and just say, hey, you want to ride it?
You're right.
Wear a helmet.
We don't.
I know I have one. I know Bruce has one. I've seen him many times. He's got
Okay.
one when he goes out with
All right.
electric bike. And,
Thank you, Jack.
It's a safe issue.
I told you, I don't disagree.
You guys will consider and just make it a rule.
All right. We'll discuss that and work on that. But at this point, we can't labor that issue right now tonight, but we will take it and address it. All right. So do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Meeting's adjourned.